the best big brother I could have ever asked for.
All right, okay. What's good, Beardy McBitchface? How right? Okay. All right, okay. Beardy McBitchface.
Okay, so we're going to start off that way. All right.
Yeah, fuck you.
All right, let's do it. All right.
I'm in a good mood today, so you're going to get shit on.
All right.
That's usually how this
run
goes.
it.
That's
All
usually
right.
how this goes.
So, okay.
All right. Okay.
All
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so you had a Florida Man article, I see.
Yeah, since you brought some articles last week, I decided to bring one this week.
Okay.
I found one that is a pretty... it's Florida all over.
It's very Florida.
It's very Florida. The title. The title is Florida Man Drowns in Pond, Presumably Looking for Lost Golf Ball.
Presumably.
I don't know a more Florida title.
Okay. Read on.
Police rescue teams recovered the body of a 74-year-old golfer, according to the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office at East Lake Woodlands Country Club.
Of course it was Woodlands.
Just 20 miles from
Of
Tampa.
course it was.
Happened on Sunday. Man hit his tee shot on the third hole and was last seen looking for his ball near the green. The Sheriff's Office said in a statement. Dude's golf cart was parked on the cart path and his putter was found lying on the ground near the water. Soon after, divers found the man in the pond not far from where putter was located. It's a very short article, but it just screamed Florida.
So how much of the body did they find?
It does not say.
Right, because the immediate question is, did a gator get to him first?
Right, exactly.
That's the first question.
But just 74-year-old guy in Pinellas County drowns in pond looking for his golf ball. I don't know what else. That is so fucking Florida.
That is the most Florida headline I've seen in a while.
It's so Florida. It is. Oh god.
So old man hits golf ball. So you can imagine it, right? Is like it's probably on like a 15-degree incline that kind of slopes as it gets to the water, right? And then he tries to bend to reach down, falls over because his brittle feet can't carry his weight.
I could see.
And then
I could
you
see.
just see the tumble shoulder first into the water, over his back and over, and he just turtles into the water and can't breathe.
Yep.
He's not strong enough to pull himself out. And then the next thing you know, he's dead.
Which is also, if he's not strong enough to pull himself out of the water,
why would you go near the water?
No. What does that say about golfers?
Well, on the opposite end of the spectrum, you have Tiger, who had to have surgeries because he created so much torque that he was like tearing his body apart.
Yeah, but he's also not 74, so.
Well, he's about to walk around like he is.
No, but
after that fucking car crash.
No, but everyone who watches him is. So.
True.
I don't know a guy under 50 that watches golf.
I know two.
What, did they play golf in high school?
Yes.
Yeah.
To be fair, you can say the same thing about baseball. I think the average baseball spectator is 55 years old.
That's not what I see.
Older than that.
That's not what I see on Bumble with all the. I'm a Rangers fan.
Well,
or is that a whole different discussion?
That's a different discussion. I mean, I'm happy to talk about my frustrations with dating apps, but
yeah, no, it's just I saw that article and I was like, oh, this is just Florida.
That is a very Florida headline. I scared another person today, showing them a video of an alligator climbing a fence. I fucking love doing that because they don't realize,
dude. Yeah.
So I looked up. And alligators are not older than trees like sharks are.
Yeah.
But they're close. In the history of the earth, close. They're off by like 30 million years.
I think they have like one descendant, which is just very large. It was larger than them. But they're like.
It was basically a giant caiman.
Yeah.
And then they kind of morphed into like Nile crocodiles are slender because they have to wind through a river. Mm-hmm. Or like alligators are freshwater creatures, and so they have a little wider gullet and little, because they can consume that water.
Yeah.
And then caimans are just fucking savages.
Yeah, it's like there was one evolution, and that was really about it.
Apparently, the last significant evolution that alligators had was 8 million years ago.
Yep.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yep.
That's fucking crazy.
Yep.
They didn't change because they didn't have to, right? Because there was no like natural pressure for them to change.
Yeah. That's
fucking insane.
So we started off this way just because it was interesting, but I do, and because of the shirt I'm wearing, but I do believe this This stream is sponsored by Florida.
Facts.
Just big,
That's
just
Florida.
big Florida.
Big Florida. We're shills for Big Florida. I think, I was thinking about, and then there's a video, I showed a video of an alligator eating a turtle, which
Yep.
is just a everyday occurrence.
Yep.
And then they're like, I didn't realize, why would they try to eat like a living rock? And I was like, alligators are like top 10 strongest bite force in the natural world.
They eat everything.
They
What
eat
is
fucking everything.
What kind of question is that?
Yeah, right? What kind of, like, what?
Also, once you get a turtle out, or once you like get the head off the turtle, you're fine. Then it's just easy pickings.
Yeah, then you can just chomp, chomp, chomp.
Yeah.
But I don't think alligators have that refined of biting skills. They kind of just big snap.
Oh yeah.
They're shills for
No.
big snap.
Big snap.
Um,
But yeah,
Never in my life did I think I'd describe an alligator as a shill. But here we are.
I'm just surprised how many people don't know about alligators. Period.
Because they're not just Florida. They stretch through Louisiana and up through North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they take a solid amount of ground. Right?
Yeah.
So,
Have you never watched a nature documentary? Like I don't.
yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well, fucking,
Did you never read any of those amazing animal books in third grade?
some shit like that. I gotta say, though, the alligators of Florida probably are built different, right? Because they live, a lot of them live next to crocodiles, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah.
And that's, by the way, the crocodiles are not the invasive species down there. They're actually the naturally occurring one. And then, think about like and I think I've mentioned this before, the boars in Texas versus the boars in Florida. Boars in Florida, you have to get a fucking AR to kill. And it's like, well, why are they so hard? They have to fight for food with an alligator.
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough, alligators actually aren't really that. I mean, they are dangerous to humans, but only if the humans kind of deserve it, if I'm being honest. So, like,
Yeah.
if you don't know, alligators hiss like snakes, and it's just a warning sign of, you're kind of in my personal space. I'd appreciate it if you didn't.
Yeah.
Right? So that's when, like, the whole world freaks the fuck out when, like, an 18-foot alligator starts stomping across a golf course. But all the golfers are, like, 20 feet away. Like, if you don't get in its way, it's not going to bother you.
Don't. If it doesn't see you as a threat, you're fine. Just don't act like a threat.
Pretty much.
Don't fuck with
Pretty
gators.
much. Like, we had Wally in our back pond.
Don't fuck with gators. No. All right, that's enough.
Unless you're a descendant of Steve Irwin. Then you can fuck with
Yeah.
gators.
Then exactly.
Then you could probably fuck gators. I feel like you have the exception to do that at this point.
You can definitely fuck something. And I think the first pick, just for a nice revenge fuck, would be a stingray.
I was about to say, I
Yeah.
was like, are we fucking stingrays?
Yeah. And on that note,
I could keep going down this rabbit hole of fucking stingrays. You felt them? They're kind of slimy. You know what else is kind of slimy? More stingrays.
I was like, where the fuck are you going with this?
More stingrays.
Oh,
You could fold it up like a burrito. Just
I had a hot take thought.
yeah, you walked into my apartment and said,
Oh.
"I have a hot take."
No, okay, there's that one, and then there's another one.
Okay, what's
So we'll let's parse out the first one first.
Okay.
Music NFTs are just VIPs under a different name.
okay, so let's start with defining what a VIP was.
So a VIP stands for very important production or something akin to that.
It's like,
If it was a remix of your song or someone else's song that you did, this was before remix culture. It was just like if you wanted to play it in a show or something like that, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna do this, and only a handful of people knew about it, only a handful of people had the file or whatever.
yeah, it was like a revamped version of a song to fit a certain theme.
right.
Right. Yeah.
Change the tempo, change a drop, do something,
Yeah.
right? Figure
Some sort of shiftiness going on.
Yeah, and it was mainly for a specific show or a specific thing, that was going on, and you didn't give it away or inherently, or if someone that was like your friend or was another producer or another DJ wanted it, you could give it to them on a USB drive or some shit.
Yeah.
Now there's VIPs, and they're pretty much just like they're treated as regular songs now, regular remixes now, which
Yeah.
is it's fine, whatever.
Sure.
So music NFTs. So an NFT is a non-fungible token. the music kind is very, very new. It started actually in the art world with crypto art.
Yeah.
So with real art, a painter will paint something on a canvas,
Yeah.
and then you can get a certificate of authenticity, meaning this is a one of one. This is the original piece.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. A museum will then buy that piece, have the certificate. So crypto art is just that in digital form. So you create some piece of art, whatever, on your computer. You go to there's like a select few different sites. You can be like, hey, this is a one of one piece. I'm gonna upload it here. They're like, hey, cool. We are gonna digitize this and put this piece in a cryptocurrency format, effectively, and it's called a non-fungible token, which means those tokens are the certificate of authenticity for that specific
On
piece.
the ledger that it's
Yeah, correct.
put
On
on.
the blockchain ledger that it's
Yeah.
on, and most NFTs, most crypto art is traded within Ethereum, and that's just
that makes sense.
yeah. So stuff like that. So the music world has hopped onto this because it's a bubble. It's gonna pop. It's crypto. It's a bubble.
Yeah, yeah.
So music has brought onto this, and so music producers will create a song or a certain set of whatever, however long it is, and be like, hey, I'm gonna sell this one of one piece, so only one person can have it. It's like the Wu-Tang album, but a song. That's effectively that's what this is. It's none of
Right.
this shit is really new. It's just
No.
digital form, and it's because it's crypto. All of a sudden, it's woohoo.
Right.
But so now, 10 years later, these music NFTs are just VIPs in a digital world.
That makes sense.
And even the VIPs were digital too. It's just you had to
Technically, yeah.
technically. So it's just like I don't. It's. But and that's my hot take. That was my one hot take that I had coming in.
I mean, I don't disagree, and I think it's kind of dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Because then the question becomes, like, what is one non-fungible song worth?
Right.
Who the fuck knows what the answer to that question is?
Well, that's the problem we're having in the art world too right now. Is people just sold on the secondary market. One of his pieces went for $6.6 million. Is that piece actually worth that? I think most people would argue no.
I think people would say no.
He sold it for I think $1 originally, but knowing that in the secondary market, it's literally every secondary market: music, art,
Shoes.
There's whiskey shoes. There's whiskey secondary market,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Yeah.
All secondary. It's only worth what people think it's worth. It's not actually worth anything. It's not worth the original value.
Yeah.
It's baseball cards and Beanie Babies and Pokemon cards. It's worth what people want it for. It's not actually worth what it's actually worth.
yeah.
But
Yeah, no, because there's a big fucking difference in value based on material it's made out of, or value based on utility you gain from using it, versus just like, you know, let's say a shoe retails for 100. We can debate whether or not that's reasonable there, but you know, if it resales for 220, and then another guy's willing to bet 300 just to dunk on that dude and make sure he gets the shoe because he has some extra cash lying around, is the shoe really worth $300? Very hard press. I mean, okay, like there's the very strict capitalist sense, and like, yeah, it's worth 300 because that's what people are willing to pay for it. But like, is that a fair value?
right,
You know,
right.
well, that's the big fucking question we're seeing with the stock market right now. Because GameStop did this. Cryptocurrency, well,
And
mostly does
this
this,
was
but
part-
it sometimes goes.
This was part of the discussion I was having with Cromfell, and saying
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and I was saying like, you know, none of this rich person bad thing is new, especially in the art world. I mean, how long has there been like money transfers and overvaluation?
It still goes on in Europe.
Yeah, just because it's in a new form or on a new platform doesn't make it all of a sudden this bad thing. It's like it's been happening for a long time, and there's legitimate criticisms to it, but it's also like some people are bitching how all of a sudden, Beeple or Bill Ellis or Fuckrender are making a bunch of money, and they're kind of not inherently them.
I was like, but it's not really their fault.
No, I'm not saying it's their fault, but like money does change people, and like sure, yes,
I understand
maybe
the
no.
concern.
I
do.
I get it, but at the same time, a lot of the bitchiness is coming out of people assuming they were gonna get money in the same way too.
Well, that's the thing.
Meaning, hey, it's like the Mixer situation. I'm going to move to a new platform, and all of a sudden, I'm going to blow up because blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, it's a new platform. You still just have to work, and people are just being confronted with that problem.
That's the big thing, right? Is like the artists that are getting paid, we're already at the top of the industry.
Right.
But like
right.
People, Patrick Forty, Fuckrender, and even you could throw Cromfell in that kind of group to a certain degree. Well, certainly far above average.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, you look at that group of people. I mean, Beeple's a guy who's done, like, stage work for Ariana Grande and album artwork for, like, 21 Pilots.
He did album artwork for, it was Imagine Dragons.
Imagine Dragons, that's who it was.
And he's done, he's contacted by these different agencies, but his artwork and stuff like that has been on the backdrops for like Britney Spears concerts and Ariana Grande.
And he's been around a while, right?
And so this is the conversation I was having with Cromfell. I was like,
he was already well off before the NFTs.
Maybe all these people are making a butt ton of money, and whether or not it's legitimate, sure, we can have this discussion. But at the same time, it's like the rich will become rich no matter what the area. Music, art, stocks, engineering, pharmaceuticals. They're gonna maintain acting. They're gonna maintain their rich persona and their richiness, for lack of a better term.
Sure.
Their wealth. That's a word that I should have used.
It's a good word. It's a strong word.
Vocabulary.
SAT prep.
Richiness.
Richie Rich.
They're going to maintain that because they're able to throw their money and names around. So they're just going to maintain
they have more
status.
assets to utilize. Yeah.
And that's just capitalism. For good or for bad, that's just capitalism. It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, if you're going to look at industries that currently still stand pretty strong as meritocracies, 3D modeling is one of them.
Right, yeah. Oh my god.
I don't think there's any dispute. I mean, really, that Beeple's probably the best at that.
Well, it's really interesting because people are complaining about a bunch of. It's such a fucking microcosm because there's so many people complaining about the 3D art world. But how many of them can
actually do it?
Even in Dallas, I have to explain people what I do because they don't even understand what that means.
Right.
3D art. They're like, oh, so what do you do? Like 3D painting? No, it's not that. It's not digital painting. That's still 2D. Like they don't.
Yeah, that's still no. Like you're actually.
They don't understand what I'm even doing.
It's like digital sculpture.
So like all these people are up their own asses in this small fucking world. It's like, do you not have a bigger picture of what's going on?
Right.
Like how you fit, and it's just so funny. Even the big artists and the small artists are both being shitheads on both sides. And I was just like, hey. It is what it is. And then Cromfell's like, and he has a very dark artistic style too. He did stuff for Eptic back in the day in like 2017. Mm-hmm. So I was like, and then he goes, well, that's just very, what was the word?
Cynical.
Cynical. He calls me, that's just really cynical. I was like, coming from you? that's something. That's something. All right.
Well, not just that. And that this is not to throw Cromfell under the bus, but it is kind of like, part of me is like, why are we getting mad artists are getting paid?
That was the thing. So
that's my big question.
So Bill Ellis, apparently Bill Ellis blocked Cromfell because he was criticizing him, and I was like, that's not a good look.
That's kind of weak.
It's not a good look. That's why I say big artists are being shitheads sometimes too. Like it's not a good look. But Bill Ellis did make a post, being like, hey, all these people putting my artwork as as their screensavers, putting my artwork on their mood boards, taking my artwork, illegal downloads, whatever it is, right? All this other shit. And people are like, stop complaining about people liking your stuff. It's like, you can like artists, so follow them. I have not once ever stolen a piece and used it on products of my own from another artist.
Right. Unlike we've seen a lot in the underground hip hop
I've
scene.
I've seen Instagram rappers. I've helped take down Instagram rappers because they, not just on Instagram, on their fucking Spotify albums have used artwork from other artists that I'm like, hey, I know the artist that made that. I don't think he was commissioned to do that.
Was it Fuck Render? Who was the one with the John Wick poster controversy?
Oh, that was Bill Ellis.
Bill Ellis.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Bill Ellis.
Exactly.
No, but he had a very legitimate point on that one.
And that's the thing. Yeah,
like, okay, when I tell you, like, if you took Bill Ellis's rendering and you took the John Wick poster.
No. He did John Wick, and it was someone else took his style of John Wick and did it for another movie or another thing.
Oh, that's right.
So Bill Ellis did the poster
right.
for John Wick, and it was fucking amazing. Looked
It was
great.
a great poster.
Someone used that as what's the fucking term? As inspiration. And it was almost an exact fucking
That's an
copy.
interesting way to spell copy.
Oh, it was. And so that's what in the post
I've
he
never
made.
pronounced it that way. Is that French?
In the post he made, that's what he was complaining about. People doing that shit, and people were like, "Oh, bro, you just made 17,000 yesterday. Shut up and take your W." It's like, are you fucking stupid? No. You're just butthurt. You're not making the same amount of money. I get it. It sucks. Whatever. What I was telling Cromfell is like, my whole philosophy is like, complaining does fucking nothing. Someone else got theirs, cool, work harder to get yours. Like, okay, maybe things are unfair. Life is fucking unfair. Get over it. I don't know what the fuck people are talking about. Who said life was fair? Also,
literally nobody.
Also, people's been doing everydays for 14 fucking years. This isn't fucking new. Like
it's not a secret that people got the post contracts.
Right.
He's been doing it.
He's making a lot of money. Some of it may be overvalued. Fucking sure, whatever. But he's also been in the game for almost over a decade. So what are we talking? He's put in the fucking work.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
It's not a secret.
He's making a lot of money. Cool. Good on him. Now work harder to get yours. Like, I don't understand.
Well, it's like, how many followers do we have? 12? How many times have we streamed? I think this is
12.
Maybe. Right? Okay, now imagine we streamed for 12 years.
Right.
Then I'd start having questions on why we have no audience at that point.
Well, yeah. But then if you have 12 followers and you were streaming for 12 years, like, I'm sure some of these similar artists have similar counts. And they're like, I've been doing this for a while. It's like,
maybe you're just not good.
1, maybe you're not good. 2, you can work at something for 12 years but do the same shit every year. Are you growing? Are you changing? Are you doing better? Are you figuring out what you're doing wrong? Or are you just repeating the same year 12 times?
Yeah.
Like, I just, a lot of this shit, like, I'm fine. If you want to talk about the power consumption from the crypto world, if you want to talk about the bubble and the inflation and kind of the weird prices of art, I'm fine with that. But when you start getting ad hominem arguments, if you start getting just complaining about people making money, you're fucking wrong. And it really comes out that you're just envious. Yeah. It just comes out so bad.
Yeah.
But, it's just, who the fuck am I? And the thing is, I'm also a small artist. I barely make money off my art. So it's like,
nowadays you're doing okay.
Well, I have enough to pay bills and then some. But this is a new development.
That's very recent.
It's very recent. Yeah. So it's like, it's fine. It is what it is. But in terms of things, I'm a small artist. Yeah. I'm also not disillusioned.
Right. Well, because you got into 3D renders in 2018?
I started looking up tutorials and looking up. So I started following people in 2016. Sure. And was like, okay, this is cool. And it wasn't until 2017 that I was like, hey, how the fuck do people make this? Because I knew it was like 3D stuff, and I had a little bit of hand in that, but it wasn't
because we've been in like SketchUp and shit.
I've done SketchUp in the past, AutoCAD.
We're not like not tech savvy.
No, but I was like, what programs? How the fuck do they even make this?
Well, because even now, there's really nothing like it.
No. Exactly. So, and it wasn't until about 2017-ish that I really sat down, started looking at tutorials, started like actually getting the software and just starting actually physically doing it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the 2018 that I sat down and started doing every days.
Yeah.
And I did that for a whole year, and that really helped. And so now it's just doing the work. But like that, I hate it when people complain about rich people in general. It's like, I'm not defending rich people, but at the same time, it's like, what the fuck are you doing though? Like, okay, cool. Life is unfair. Get the fuck over it. Do your work.
Yeah, you're.
I don't, but whatever.
I was listening to a podcast today that was talking about like this leftist attitude about the poor, and it was talking about it makes the assumption. It's like they have empathy for the poor, but in a really patriarchal way, in this assumption that they can't do anything about it. It's like
it's the white savior idea.
Well,
from,
and he was talking about it was on Lex Friedman's podcast.
Yeah.
And they were talking about what was it? I don't want to do this topic a disservice with a poor description. It was the whole point of like how many poor people in America don't have a smartphone with internet access?
Right.
Very few.
Right.
Right. That's how ubiquitous technology has become. So then the question is, with that internet access, what can they learn?
It might not be an
fucking anything.
Right.
And you know what the paywall for that is? Basically zero.
Yeah.
I mean, Coursera, EDX, YouTube, Wikipedia, just to name 4 places. And then there's like this backlash about like, oh, I don't have access to that. It's free.
You're wrong.
It's literally free. Like, right? And I'm not a big, 1970s pick yourself up by your bootstraps guy. There's a lot of problems with that statement. But there is something to be said about like maybe stop idolizing rappers and fucking learn something.
Right.
There's something to that argument. It's obviously not the end all, but
and so the thing is, what I think about is like I get that a lot of people didn't have the direction as kids.
That's part of it, yeah.
And I totally get that and everything.
You don't realize what you don't know.
Yeah, and you don't. Yeah, that's the thing. You don't know what you don't know, and I get it. But at the same time, it's just like this. Just take a step back for a second, and like how many times have I heard in my life of like, oh, I wish I knew to do that when I was younger, kind of thing. It's like, but you could have. Like,
well, especially after the year 1990.
Well, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Right.
It's just, I don't, like, okay, so here's a story. So we live in Dallas, and there was the whole storm and everything, a couple of weeks ago, a week and a half ago now. And people, I guess, in Texas and outside of Texas were, the whole complaining about Ted Cruz thing, which who gives a shit. And then also people are like, oh, people are dying of, power outages and all that. There might've been a few cases. I know there was a couple cases of that.
I mean, yeah, if you're already in a food desert and whatever else, but
I don't have sympathy for people who all they do is complain. I lived out of my car for 3 fucking months, sleeping in parking lots and showering on the beach. I do not have, oh no, I was without power for 18 hours. Cool. Bundle up in your bed, pick up a flashlight, grab a book and start reading. Oh no, you don't have access to social media for a few hours? Fucking cool. Like, man. And like, yeah, there's like, oh, you can't use your microwave, you can't use your heat, you can't use...
You're not going to die in 18 hours.
You're not going to... It's fine. It's fine. Go sit in your fucking car. Run your car. Pay $20 for gas every, couple days. Who gives a shit? Like, you have all of the resources for you right there.
The only resource you lack is resourcefulness.
The only resource you lack is resourcefulness. And it bugs me when people... It bugs me when people complain about their situation and don't do anything to fix it.
Yeah.
And actually put in the work to fix it. But I didn't really see that much of that during the storm.
No.
It was people outside of Texas complaining for
Texas.
Yeah,
I was getting the reaction of people like freaking out for me. And I was like, guys, it's 3 days. You're not going to die.
Dude, Monday when the storm was the quote unquote worst,
Wednesday, we were driving to get food.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm not the only one. Apparently, so Michael Jones from Rooster Teeth was on.
Oh, because they're based out of Austin.
Based out of Austin. He grew up in New Jersey. And so
He
he's
was
like,
probably laughing at this.
he's like, this is a joke. Obviously, they didn't salt the roads. They didn't do all this.
Well, yeah,
stuff.
Texas isn't used to this. I don't blame them for not being used to it.
I have my complaints with it, but it's like, but he was just like, people were still like, apparently on social media being like, hey, what places are open, blah, 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 blah. And this was like Thursday. He goes, I don't know. It's 60 degrees outside. Go fucking drive around. Like, go figure it out.
Right.
Like, he goes, it's fine. It's over. Live, like, do what?
Yeah, by Saturday it was done.
It's insane. And
Yeah.
Monday.
It was in the 50s on Saturday.
Yeah, and Monday when
So-
it was the worst, it was nice out. It was a nice day in
It
the
actually
north.
was kinda
It was
nice.
snowing, but it was nice.
Actually, the sun was out.
It was a nice day.
It was pretty cool. It
was a
really
nice
pretty
day.
outside, actually.
And people are like, I don't have power. Oh no, I lost power for. And then there's also the whole thing of like, the rich areas didn't lose power and blah 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 blah, and it was only the poor areas. I don't know, but from my perspective, you lost power, and we are in Highland Oaks or
Highland Park.
Highland Park.
I'm
which is-
literally in one of the most expensive neighborhoods in the country, and I lost power.
and he lost power. and-
so
I am 30 minutes away in a all right area. It's fine. It's not bad. It's not good. It's all right.
it's all right.
I didn't lose power. So I don't.
You definitely live in a safe neighborhood.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I live right across from a middle school. It's
Yeah.
a nice area. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's whatever. But it's the suburb-ish area. But I didn't
Right.
lose power.
No, you didn't. Actually, yeah, I went over to your place for a day.
Yeah. Like
Took a fucking hour and a half to get there.
also, like I heard.
But what else was I doing that
Like
day?
I heard stories of a guy who hooked up his the power of his house to his car and ran his
On like 20-minute increments.
yeah, I ran his car battery into his house effectively, and just had to refuel. He had like it would stop every now and then. It would cut.
Yeah.
So he just had to restart his car every 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But then he'd just fill up his car with gas and be fine. Like that's resourcefulness. That's what you do. If you're in a shit situation, that's what you do.
Yeah.
But fuck me for complaining about people who complain and don't actually do anything to fix their problems.
Well, is it Gary Vaynerchuk kind of thing? And it was like, if someone who looks like you made it, you're out of excuses.
Right. Right.
Done. Right? Okay. I want to know how many white leftists like complain about like, there's nothing poor people can do to get out of the situation. I want to know how much hip hop they listen to. Cuz what the fuck else is hip hop? For the most part,
But yeah,
than the story of poor black men
finally making
defining
it,
their class struggle.
Yeah, defining their class struggle, trying to get out of it, talking about how they
Talking
got
about-
out of it.
And then they talk about the problems they have now are sometimes worse than the problems they used to have because their decisions have so much more at stake now.
Well, you know what they say.
More money, more problems.
Yeah.
That's the whole song.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I just
So I want to know. I want to know how many of them listen to hip hop. It's like, well, you don't listen, do you?
no.
You just have it on.
I just like the beat. It's just I don't really care for the lyrics. I just like the beat.
Sure.
How many times have I fucking heard that?
It's all of Megan Thee Stallion's career.
Yep.
I like some of the Gaga songs. What the fuck does she know about cameras?
Don't even get me started on
Celebrity culture is a whole other weird thing.
People trying to cancel Kylie Jenner, Kendall Jenner, one of them.
For what? This time?
It was
Pepsi commercial?
It was no.
That
it
was old.
No, right? No, it was about a week ago because she bought this tequila brand and marketed it as 818, which is I think the area code for whatever county she lives in, whatever the fuck it is.
818?
Yeah, whatever that is.
I have no idea.
It's somewhere in California. They live in Calabasas. Who gives a shit? But people were trying to cancel her, being like, "Oh, she's profiting off the working hands of the Browns and minorities and blah blah blah. My family has been making tequila for years and blah 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 blah." I was okay. So there's two parts. One is when she was promoting this brand, she was saying like, "Oh, I worked for 3 years on this thing, and you can't really make tequila in 3 years. Like you can, I think, is it silver it has to be distilled or what held for like 6 months, I think it is,
Yeah.
and you could be like 5 months and 29 days and it's still fine. But to get that all up and running takes a lot longer than 3 years.
Yeah.
And like harvesting the agave and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And she was kind of like lying about how long it took, because apparently that particular place took a lot longer than 3 years. But then also the actual tequila she bought is produced in a factory or a distillery that makes like 50 other kinds of tequilas. So it also doesn't fucking matter.
I was about to say, I was like, how much like actual operation?
No,
is this
she
Jenner
didn't. She
doing?
didn't do anything. It was she bought this brand and she tries to pass it off her own. Is it dumb? Yeah, it's fucking stupid. But does that make her the devil, and that she's profiting off the working hands of browns and minorities and all this other stuff? No.
That is such a dumb way of looking at it.
It is, because my thing was, did you cancel P. Diddy when he started Ciroc? Did you cancel Jay-Z when he started his own cognac? What is
Montana.
What does Ryan Reynolds know about gin? What does all of that gin, cognac, it's all made in Europe. It's only white people over there.
Right, I forgot. There's only white people in Europe. I forgot.
Yeah.
That's right.
Except for like Spain and
Except for all of
Portugal and Italy and
Europe. Well, there's a strong black population in the UK and France.
yeah. But it's like,
There's an ever growing.
but those spirits don't come from Mexico or South America.
Back up.
So therefore, it's
this up. Back this up for me. Hold on. Wait. They're profiting off the labor of
the working hands.
the coloreds.
Yeah. Sure.
But
Therefore, she should be canceled.
what if you just, what real progressivism would be? Celebrating that the tequila of colored people is being purported, instead of the ones from Europe that are all white.
Well, so
Right? If you're gonna make a dumb argument, make it that one.
during the summer, when was that Juneteenth, when that was rolling around, there was, because there was the whole push of like black-owned businesses and everything.
Sure.
There is a whiskey brand called Uncle Nearest
Oh yeah.
that was purportedly made. The whiskey was made by the guy who taught Jack Daniels.
Sure.
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 All right. Okay. So if that's the case, and then the bar I worked at was a black-owned business, and we pushed that Uncle Nearest, but then it was just outside of our bar. I was also seeing it gain popularity, and that's cool. But
Sure.
if you're gonna complain about people profiting off the black working hands, okay, then push the brands that are made by those people.
Right.
Like, I'm seeing way too much complaining and not enough people being like, oh, hey, I don't support these brands. Try these brands instead. It's as easy as that. Or is virtue signaling just super cool now?
I think I'm really tired of people bringing up problems and not solutions.
Yeah.
It's like, clearly you didn't have a think about it then.
No.
I mean, and that
surface level analysis.
and that goes all the way back to the racism at our high school.
Yeah.
Right. Which is a whole other saga I could get into, but I don't need to relive my Vietnam right now. So
Personal Vietnam.
my personal Vietnam was Facebook arguments with peers of mine about how. Fuck it,
Austin-
I'll get into it. Fuck it.
But Austin, you shouldn't make fun of PTSD. It's not okay.
You can suck my dick. That's what I think of that. I'll make fun of whatever the fuck I want.
I'm pretty sure vets would say.
Welcome to comedy. Nothing's off limits.
Oh, what was the Giannis Pappas was on
Flagrant 2.
Flagrant 2.
Yeah, I watched that.
And they were talking about, he was doing these characters and how some people were trying to cancel him for doing these, was it trans Latina character person? Puerto Rican character?
Something like that.
Anyways, people were trying to cancel him. This was like a while ago. Like, I want to say like years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I remember, no, it was like beginning of YouTube era.
Oh, like 2006?
Like, because I remember the exact what's the phrase he used to use all the time? That's it. Do you remember that popping up?
I remember
that was like 2010, 2011 -ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was like 10, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
So apparently people were trying to cancel him back then for doing this character on stage. But what was hilarious is that character would fucking kill
Yeah.
in minority bars and minority groups.
Yeah.
Because
I could see it killing in Miami.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Because that's a lot of my Miami friends would say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah.
We were in Florida.
Yeah. But it was so funny because like all these people were trying to cancel him, but like the people who loved it the most were the people who
should be offended.
should be quote unquote should be offended, right? So it's just like you're wrong. So all these people being like sideline defenders it's just you're fucking stupid, and I fucking hate everyone for doing that shit. Like there's too much complaining and not enough solutions.
Oh, you want to know some real fucking irony about the joke police in my own personal life? Okay.
Hit me with it.
Let me just state as a general rule. It is okay to say that a joke is not funny for any reason.
Yeah.
Other than if you think it's supposed to offend somebody else or you happen to be part of the group that it's making fun of.
Yeah.
Those are not two valid reasons to say a joke's not funny.
Yeah.
Okay? And I say that being a guy. Do you know how often, how fucking often I hear jokes about cis white men that are actually pretty fucking funny?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's back this up. Okay. I sent a meme, and it said 1 out of 4 men is happy. And for those of you who don't know me and see this, I'm a fucking meathead. I'm in the gym fucking constantly because external boo-boos are easier to deal with than internal boo-boos. So, I sent a meme, and it was 3 guys that were like, it was the stock photos of like being in an argument with your girlfriend or whatever. And then there was one of Ronnie Coleman deadlifting and screaming, "Yeah, buddy." And he was the happy one, right?
That's funny.
I thought it was kind of, it's not like the funniest joke ever, but like, it's kind of funny.
Gets you a little
It's a little like,
exhale out your nose.
yeah, I was like, yeah. So I sent that to my friend who's recently been working out a lot. I've actually been coaching her for a while. And she said it's not funny because she's part of the group that the meme's making fun of. I was like,
that's what makes it funny.
that's part of what makes it funny. Well, and also, it's not saying like woman is bad. It's saying lifting is better than bad relationship. Well, it's also implying women are kind of bitchy. But like,
playing off age-old stereotypes.
I was like, well, that's playing off a stereotype. It's not I did not read it as punching down.
It's
inherently.
It's not the greatest joke ever, but it's fine.
It's fine. It's a pretty benign joke,
Yeah.
let's be honest. But then she sends me fucking jokes about how Kevin Hart posed at his wedding to look tall next to his wife. Which is straight up male body shaming. So that's okay.
Yeah.
Right? That's the and this is not an original thought. The one who has most succinctly brought it to light was Anthony Jeselnik. Who fucking, I mean, we all hate the joke police because they have one rule, and it's you can't make fun of this right now. And then this is a moving target. The example he gives in his special is transgender people.
Yep.
And the room goes silent. He goes, "See?" Right? But then, like, what's the funniest roast you and I have ever heard? It's about a kid with cerebral palsy. He went on stage.
I'm gonna set it up. There was it's a roast battle, the show, and it's 2 comedians
at the Comedy Store in LA.
Yeah, there's 2 comedians, and comedians. They're paid to tell jokes. They go up there and they're supposed to roast each other.
Yep.
And that's what they do. And that's the show. And it's great content. There
It's
was one comedian that had it was a paraplegic, or no, he was a quadriplegic.
He was a quadriplegic, yeah.
Quadriplegic. And he's in a wheelchair. He's a comedian. He signed up for this. This is what he does. He goes up on stage and tells jokes. This is what he does.
By the way, being part of us also means you signed up to
Right.
get made fun of.
Right.
No holds barred. Like
Right.
everyone understands what they're getting into.
Yeah. So he goes up there and does this roast battle, and the other comedian goes, "Hey, your legs look like your arms drew your legs," which is fucking hilarious.
That is the funniest roast I've ever heard
That
in
is
my life.
so fucking funny.
It's a lot of layers of clever.
It's so good.
It's
It's
really
so good.
Still
And
makes me
even
laugh.
he laughed at it. The guy laughed at it.
Because you have to be able to laugh
Because
at
it's
yourself.
hilarious.
You have to
It
be
is,
able to
and
laugh
it's very clever. It's also not just like, hey, you look funny. It's super clever. It's a
You
really
look
good
funny
joke.
and it's your fault.
It's a good joke.
It's a good joke.
Is that punching down? I don't know, but is it not? Because they signed up for it. They're two comedians.
Right.
They signed up for this.
Right.
Not just the show, but also by
A joke-
proxy
well,
of being a comedian.
I think you can punch down as long as it's funnier than it is offensive.
Yeah.
And which it was.
Yeah.
So,
But
and also jokes are inherently offensive.
and at the end of the show, they make the comedians hug and everything like that. And
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
great.
it's all just
great.
fun among friends, it's fine. There was one episode where a comedian couple roast each other.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
It's pretty
I
good.
gotta watch that.
It's pretty good. But that's the thing. Is like, so we make fun of each other because
We're this contained box of toxicity.
and we know each of us can take it.
That's the thing, right?
There is nothing that either of us have thought about each other or ourselves that would make us be like, oh, don't say that.
Right? It doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
No.
But what's the funny thing is like people getting offended on behalf of other people. So I was in a friend group back early college, sophomore year-ish. It was me, Muslim guy, Muslim dude.
Oh, was this the cookies and cream era?
Yes, it was cookies and
Yeah.
cream. Muslim guy, Indian chick, a Puerto Rican dude, Cuban dude, Haitian, and then African American. Melting fucking pot
Also,
of a friendship.
just begging for race jokes.
That was 50% of our.
Just begging for race
That was
jokes.
50% of our friendship. Was just making fun of each other.
Yeah. I feel
Like,
like, I feel
my
like
my
all
nick-
the good male friendships are just really good
Yeah,
roast battles.
it was. My nickname was Casper when we would go bowling. That's what they would put as my name. Is Casper.
Oh, that's fucking great.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's great.
And
I love
I wasn't that friendly. So we would do that, and then my friend who's Haitian, super fucking dark, like super just.
You lose him in the photograph at night. That's yeah.
He was. And the funny thing is we would make jokes if we were like sleeping in each other's dorms or something like that, and turn off the lights. Jerry, where'd you go? Smile for me, kind of shit like that. Like not a funny joke, but in between friends, fucking hilarious.
It's kinda funny.
And everyone would laugh. He would laugh. It's all fun and games because we weren't racist to each other. It wasn't actually mean. It
Right.
was just there's obvious differences. Let's acknowledge them, and we can make it funny.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I think it's an acceptance of reality.
It really is.
a lot of what comedy is.
It really is.
Yeah.
So and then there's a whole pushback of like, oh, I don't see race. That was a thing for like 2 seconds, but now
Right.
now
It
it's
is.
you have to acknowledge race. You have to do this.
I agree.
It's like you can acknowledge it and then also be like, okay, cool. What else? Like I don't have to give a shit.
Yeah, acknowledging it doesn't make it important.
No, it really fucking
It
doesn't.
really doesn't.
And I've actually I have some friends who are black. That statement. I got friends who are black. No.
Well, we do.
Yeah, I've got friends who are black, and they've even told me like, "Hey, I don't really give a shit. Like, being black is not my personality. I don't
Right. That's okay. So
care."
on that, I was playing pickup basketball last night, and my friend Dwight missed a layup, and I said, "Hey," and this is a reference to a Kobe Bryant thing.
Yeah.
But I was saying, "Hey, you go in the hole like a light skin. You start going the hole like a dark skin."
That's funny.
And then he, next thing you know, he starts hitting shots. I'm
Yeah.
like, "That's what I'm fucking talking about."
That's funny.
And then I paused. I was like, "Was that racist?"
Right.
And everyone was like, "Nah, you're good."
No. Right.
No, but
But so it's funny between friends. It's the familiarity, because if I were to go up to a random black person and be like, and it's dark out, I'd be like, "Hey, smile for me. I can't see you." That's shitty, and don't do that. Like, that's
don't
bad.
say that to strangers.
That's
Yeah,
bad.
That's bad.
I don't know that person. Don't do that. But like, just because it's a joke and just because it mentions X, Y, and Z doesn't make it bad. Doesn't make it not funny inherently. Doesn't make it offensive. It just is what it is.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know what so I was like the only white guy on the court. So the joke if I'm not consistently practicing it, I'm not a good, 3 shooter. And then I was wide open, and they're like, "Take the shot." I was like, "Nah, I like winning." and then I was just like, I was the white guy on the court. You'd think I'd learn how to shoot to stay relevant. And then that's bad planning on my part. That's my fault.
That's funny.
Well, think about the fucking white guys in the NBA not named Dirk Nowitzki.
Right.
Right? Okay. Luka Doncic, insane shooter and playmaker. JJ Redick, 3-point shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Ilyasova, 3-point shooter. Fucking who else is what? Sabonis. He's a new guy that's up and coming. Good shooter.
The dude.
Joe Harris, good shooter.
Dude from Europe on the Mavs right now. What's his fucking name?
Luka Doncic.
No.
Kristaps Porzingis.
That one.
Really fucking tall.
His brother was in the barbershop the other day.
You had Porzingis?
I had Porzingis'
Who the
brother.
fuck is Pingus?
Yeah, Porzingis' brother. I saw the name on the books. I was like, why do I recognize
Hingle
that name?
McCringleberry.
Hingle McCringleberry.
Oh my god, that's interesting. Was he fucking tall?
I didn't see him, but
sure he
Rolando
was fucking tall.
said he was super tall.
I'm sure he was super fucking tall.
Yeah.
Kristaps Porzingis is 7'3", if you don't know.
That's insane.
He's fucking tall, dude. Boban Marjanovic, fucking tall. He's like
Yeah.
7'5".
Those fucking hands.
He's the guy
man.
that makes
Yeah.
the basketball look like a softball in his hands.
That's a joke.
It's actually a joke. like people people describe me as like long boy as a joke. No. Okay. Talking about biodiversity of humans, how the fuck are Kristaps Porzingis and Simone Biles the same genetic makeup?
Yeah.
Like, if you saw that kind of dimorphism in two phenotypic factors, height and skin color, you could probably not really find more polar opposites. We would call that separate species if they were butterflies.
Yeah. Or if they do live in different areas of the world. Like how.
But they could have a kid.
That's
how the fuck?
That's what defines different species.
That's kind of insane, right? That's the one thing holding us all back. That's kind of crazy.
All dogs are one species.
Well, yeah, true. And facts, copy printer and facts. I didn't really think about it. But I'm like, there's a lot of different type of humans out there.
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, affirmative action. That's what I've been using on my dating app. It's been great. So.
Oh yeah.
On Hinge,
like, what?
you can change. I think it's kind of a weird setting.
It's a little weird.
So, but don't hate the player, hate the game. So, on Hinge, you can change your preferences on like who's showed to you in your kind of not swiping but feed. Let's call it
filter. Yeah.
One of those filters is ethnicity. A little weird, but okay. You know what? Whatever. I picked everything and removed white and Caucasian, and my experience with the app just went to the moon. It was GME. It was fucking Dogecoin, okay? Like, when I tell you, they were more fit, they were more attractive, they had more interesting responses, and were more likely to message first.
Interesting.
And I had more matches overall.
Interesting.
So why the fuck is Dallas just overrun by these fucking land whales who cannot stop consuming alcohol and tacos. Taco inhaling alcoholics is what I call
To be fair, what the fuck else is there to do in Dallas?
them. That's
A city of 2.3
I
million.
don't have a counter argument.
A city of 2.3 million people, and all
we
there
don't
is to
have
do.
fucking shit to do.
There is nothing here.
There's fucking nothing to do around here. Austin, that's misogynist. You're making fun of fat woman. Yeah, I am. Stop being so fucking fat and I'll stop making fun of you. Like, it's not that fucking hard to understand, okay?
How tall are you? How much do you weigh?
Right. So we're gonna, oh, hi. And so like the big thing is like, I see responses about like, I want my guy to be this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, if you're under 6 foot, don't talk to me. I want my guy to have a beard and a sleeve tattoo, blah, blah, blah. And then I should just be super accepting of everybody. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's just, okay, it'd be one thing if I was just kind of a normal dude, but I'm not. I'm in the gym like 5 to 6 days a week. I don't want to be with someone who's not also fitness and health conscious. It's a lifestyle thing at that
Well,
point.
that's the thing. It's not so much just about being in the gym. It's an interest. You want to have similar interests. All right. Okay. That's fine.
That's fine. But
Yeah.
don't come and get mad. Here's the wild fucking thing, right? Is like, okay, as a result of being in the gym, I have some muscle in my figure, blah, blah, blah. People find that attractive. That's great. Cool. Thanks.
Sure.
But don't get mad if you're like, I think you're hot. And it's like, yeah, I also want my partner to be kind of super hot. Like, don't get mad.
It's okay for women to know their worth, but not guys.
I saw a thing, and it was by kind of, okay, spoiler, I'm not a big fan of Hotep Jesus.
Well, I know. Like, I have my thoughts. What are your thoughts?
Of Hotep Jesus in particular?
Just in general.
Rocky Portugal. Appreciate the follow.
That was the MJ one, wasn't it?
That was a good one. That was much appreciated. She just messaged me. Okay. All right. I think Hotep Jesus is kind of, I don't like using the word toxic, but he kind of falls in the category of dudes that I'm like, I don't think you've had a healthy relationship.
So they talked that his archetype of was black Islamic male, Egyptian, that area. They talked about that on Dear White People, of like guys. Yeah, guys. It's a good. Well, the first 2 seasons are good at least. Just like every Netflix show, the 3rd season always shits the bed.
Right.
Right. But they were talking about it how apparently it's like the guys with that attitude, with that archetype, those characteristics generally are like, they see that it's like the Christian, it's like the black Islamic version of the Christian ideal where the woman comes second. They treat her like a queen, but they still treat themselves better.
Oh yeah.
Or it's that kind of idea where it's like, oh, and they only date other black women. They only date black women kind of thing because they're like, we got to keep the race pure. It's like that kind of thinking where it's very toxic. It's not healthy.
It is.
It's very black separatist almost.
Yeah.
Which I don't.
Yeah, well, in the thick of the BLM riots and stuff, I went on a date with actually multiple black girls at one point, and I was talking to them, and I was like, I don't want to live in a world where this is not an option.
Right.
Right. Like, race is not a defining characteristic by which I vet my potential partners, because it's fucking irrelevant.
It really is.
But also, there's some level of recognition that, like, being around me probably helps being around the cops in a given scenario.
There is the unfortunate aspects like that, for sure.
And so,
At least you're aware of your white privilege, Austin.
But like, what the fuck am I supposed to do about it?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like
It is what it is.
I don't. I didn't fucking ask to be white.
Check your privilege.
Yeah, it's doing pretty good.
It's the old Louis C.K. bit of like,
Oh my god.
it sucks. White guys have it the best. That's unfortunate. Life, it sucks. It is the way it is. That's horrible. Everyone should be equal. But if I had the choice,
I'd do it again.
if I were reincarnated and I got to choose,
I'd do white male every time.
and fuck what you think about Louis C.K. He's fucking hilarious.
He's funny. I don't give a shit.
Oh, you didn't like his particular kink? Cool. It was consenting adults doing their thing.
It
Who
was.
gives a shit? Who gives a shit?
Regretting it afterward does not make it assault.
Does it seem weird? Sure. Also,
There's a
who
lot.
gives fuck?
Okay. Artists are fucking weird. That's why you like them.
Generally.
Generally.
I mean, I guess I'm weird, but not in that
No,
sense.
you're fucking weird.
All right.
Fuck you. You're
All right.
fucking weird.
All right.
You see that fucking face? Jesus Christ.
That's fair.
You look at my face. Am I supposed to be doing anything else?
You look like you should be
I
working.
have a face perfect for radio.
You look like you should be working at Bronson Warthol in finance.
In this fucking golf pullover I'm wearing. I know we were talking shit about golf, and I was just like, well, look at the fucking shirt I'm wearing, but
You white piece of
it's
shit.
fine.
No.
I feel like that. I was gonna say Keenan and Kel, but that's not right. The Key and Peele skit where they're talking about robbing a bank, and they're actually just talking about getting a job at the bank.
Yeah.
I feel like that. It's like in my head, I'm like, it's this big heist. I'm on that grind. They're not gonna know what's coming out from under them. And it's like, no, dude, you just have a corporate job.
You just got a job.
You're just doing the thing, which is
got
cool
It's fine.
for now. It's been a weird swing of topics. Want to play some Fall Guys?
Segways are weird.
So,
Yeah, sure. Fucking let's do
at
it.
least I'm not falling off a cliff on mine.
Was that the creator?
Too soon. How dare you say that joke 6 years later?
Too late. How dare you say that joke so late? Was it the creator of the Segways did that?
Yeah, the inventor of the
yeah.
Segway died on a Segway. Poetic justice, I guess.
Justice? I don't know. Just irony.
That's fair. All right, gotta grab my cable. Hold on.
Not set up. We're professional streamers.
Hey, look at my fucking headset hair.
Fucking dent.
The fucking dent, bro.